Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to The Insanity here. I am Jessica and I am living with multiple chronic illnesses. This is my journal for myself as well as my kids who may inherit some of these lovely things that I have going on. I've got my puppy Greta back here and my other puppy is down here. Jaeger, you might be able to see his little booty in this area. So yeah, I probably should have updated sooner, but my life is chaos and I update when I can because I do have another channel that I post on daily that is a makeup beauty channel. Some of my wonderful friends, my internet friends, have traveled over to this channel to follow my health journey, and I am so very appreciative of all of you. Though I have noticed that some people that don't post or like comment on my other channel are here, and I'm glad you're here with me too. But let's get into this crazy life update. I think last time I was talking about my first Remicade infusion and it was going well. My back was feeling slightly better, but I was having some crazy side effects. My hair was falling out. That was like the major thing. And I have since been to my rheumatologist. I sort of got my blood test results because I was really concerned with having anemia, and maybe that was causing my hair to fall out. And when I went to get my second infusion, which has now been a week and a half since I got my second infusion, my regular rheumatologist wasn't there, so I had to see one of the other rheumatologists, and I'm sure that he is very knowledgeable. He just has zero bedside manner and wasn't really open to a lot of dialogue, questions, that kind of stuff. He was just real matter of fact. He reminded me of the kind of doctor that probably should be more in like a research lab as opposed to dealing with actual human beings. Again, I'm sure he's very intelligent. Maybe he was having an off day. I don't know. I can't wait to see my own rheumatologist. So I didn't really get a whole lot of results from him as far as why my hair is falling out and why I was having some of the issues that I was having. And he did send me to a dermatologist. He didn't actually send me to a dermatologist. He kind of offhandedly said, maybe you should see a dermatologist, because I had on this part of my head, I had like a big sore, like so painful sore. I would say it got to be about this big on my head, like in this area. And I may have mentioned that last time it had gotten worse. And so I did get to see a dermatologist, and I actually liked her. She was, I wouldn't say she spent a ton of time with me. Sorry, like my hair, like my loose hair, so I'm just tossing them into the trash can over here. She didn't spend a ton of time with me, and I think it's because she just kind of squeezed me in, and I'm very thankful for that. And she looked all over my head, and she told me, based on my history and what she saw, that she definitely thinks that I have seborrheic dermatitis, which I already knew. My previous rheumatologist said I had psoriasis, so she said that the dermatologist said when you have those conditions together, it's actually called sebopsoriasis. That's a new term for me, and I probably should do some research on that. I just haven't had time. But she was really cool about it, and I go back to see her at the end of the month, I think like on April 30th. But she gave me some prescriptions. I don't have the shampoo in here, but she gave me a shampoo to work on my head. I think it's ketoconazole, I think is what it's called. And I have two other prescriptions here. It's a clindamycin phosphate topical solution, and I just put this all over my scalp every evening before I go to bed. And I love the delivery system. It kind of reminds me of one of those bingo daubers. But when you have hair like mine that is, even when it's falling out, it's still thicker than the average person, it makes it easier to get to your scalp. I like that. So that's cool. And then I also got clobetasol, something. Hopefully you can see that. This is one of those that you put on an affected area. So like the sore patch that I had here, I put this on every night. Let this dry, and then I go in with this one, and it's helping significantly. Like, I no longer have like what feels like an open sore on my head. I know it sounds gross to talk about that, but it's not inflamed and sore anymore. It's kind of like shedding skin, not just hair, but skin, which from what the dermatologist said, it's when you have SIBO psoriasis, your skin, like your scalp skin, reproduces, I guess. I don't know how to like phrase this, but it regenerates faster, significantly faster than is normal, which is what causes the problems. I think with regular psoriasis, that's what causes the plaques, is the overproduction of like the new skin layers. I don't have psoriasis anywhere else. I just have it on my scalp. So I don't know how that works, but yeah, that is kind of what's going on with my head. It doesn't necessarily account for the hair loss, but I think it was Lorraine that said what she thinks might be the cause of it, and bingo, you are the winner, girlfriend. It is hopefully I don't mispronounce this, because clearly I can't say words. It is a telogen effluvium response, or something like to that effect, where when your body goes into a stress state, which getting the infusions, since it's a biologic medicine, it kind of stresses out your body. So your body in turn will then shut down like all of its natural resources to the things that it does not deem essential to keep your body going. And so that is the primary reason that the dermatologist thinks that I am losing my hair. So what she explained to me with the telogen effluvium response is there are stages of hair growth within the hair follicle. And when the hair gets to a certain point, it is technically on its way out. It takes a while for it to work its way out of the shaft and fall out completely. But when your body goes into this kind of shocked, stressed state, the hair follicles will release the hairs quicker. They were already going to be on their way out anyway. We all lose hair on a daily basis. This just kind of speeds it along. So it's kind of like if you have surgery or a major illness, pregnancy, like giving birth, and your body goes through that shocked, stressed state, and you lose all your hair, but then it'll grow back. So that's what she believes is going on, and I can deal with that. I can lose my hair, like not all of it, but she said it probably will take several months to go through this entire shedding phase, and then my hair is going to just start growing back. I've gone through that. I don't know if I can find the pieces from before. Yeah, you can see these pieces here are not nearly as long as the rest of my hair, and I actually took about 3 inches off of my hair. So I'm still growing my hair back from when I lost it in the summer of 2022, and I've been through this. I know how this works. I just didn't know what it was. I've never heard telogen effluvium before. Lorraine posted it on my comments, and yeah, so now I know what it is, and now I know that my body being in a stress state could cause that. So if it happens again in the future, I'll know what's going on. So yeah, that is kind of what's happening. Like I said, I did have my next infusion, and that's been about a week and a half. So that was my second loading dose. I have another one at the 4-week stage. So in about, what, 2.5 more weeks, I will have another infusion. And I don't seem to be having any additional side effects except for where I had my IV right here. Normally that closes up and just disappears at that by this point, and it's kind of creating like a little bump there. It doesn't look infected or anything, but it's just not healing the way it normally would when I get a needle or an IV. I've had plenty of IVs in my life, so I don't know if that's something to be concerned about. I'm keeping an eye on it. We'll see how it goes. But other than that, I'm not having, but that I'm aware of, any adverse side effects. So we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. My scalp is feeling a little bit better. My hair is still jumping out of my head on a regular basis, a faster than regular basis, but you know, we can live with that. We know what's going on. We're good with that. Of course, my camera is looking like it's going to overheat, but I'm gonna talk as long as I can before it shuts off, or until I, figure out everything that I need to say, because I'm trying to remember all of the things that I went through in the last, couple of weeks. I don't even remember the last time I posted. It's been probably 2 weeks, 12 days, and I don't know when I can edit this. So that is, I think, everything that is going on since the last update. Hopefully I will have more stuff for you soon, and not just, hair and other stuff. I'm eating differently. Pigging out on grapes lately, like low carb-ish, but I'm still having some low glycemic fruits. Gastritis hasn't been bothering me. I've been doing really well with my mastic gum and the licorice root. Highly recommend if you're having issues with gastritis. They have been pivotal, I think, in working with my stomach. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I think that is going to be everything for this update. I will keep you updated on any changes. I really need to get into the kitchen. I just have to find time to film in there. There's been some crazy stuff going on in my house, plumbing issues, and been dealing with that. People in and out of my house trying to fix some plumbing issues. And yeah, I guess that's everything. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because it's getting late and I don't want my camera to shut off. But I do appreciate anyone who has hung out with me and listened to me ramble on about my health journey, and for me chronicling this for myself and for my kids. All right, we will talk soon. Have a great day.